there and welcome! Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that's at the very heart of all computing, Bitwise Operations. Seriously, you're about to see the super simple logic that makes our whole complex digital world tick. And really, it all boils down to this one question. Think about it. From streaming your favorite show to running complex scientific simulations, how on earth does a computer do all of that with just two little symbols, ones and zeros? It sounds impossible, right? But the secret? Well, it's actually in a really simple, kind of beautiful set of rules. Okay, so to get this, we kind of have to learn to think like a computer. And that means we have to start small, like really small. We're talking about the smallest possible piece of information, a single switch that's the bedrock of, well, everything digital. And that little piece, it's called a bit. You've probably heard the term. It's short for binary digit, and it's basically the atom of the entire digital universe. I'm not kidding. Everything you see on your screen right now is built from these simple ones and zeros. So, what is a bit? The easiest way to picture it is just a simple light switch. That's it. There's no dimmer. It's either all the way on, which we call a 1, or it's all the way off, which we call a 0. No in between. Simple, right? Just on or off. All right, so storing information as a bunch of on and off switches, that's one thing. But the real magic, the good stuff, happens when computers start using those switches to make actual decisions. And that's where logic comes in. And the tools for that logic? They're called Bitwise Operations. Just think of them as simple rules for wiring. Imagine we take two of our light switches as inputs. We look at whether they're on or off, and based on their state, we decide whether a third light switch should turn on. That's all it is, really. So let's pop open that toolkit, shall we? We're going to focus on the big three, the operators that are the absolute foundation of digital logic: AND, OR, and XOR. First up is the AND operator. I always think of this one as the strict one, the bouncer at the club. It's got one really demanding rule you have to follow or you're not getting in. And you can see that rule perfectly right here in this table. Just look, the result is 1, or on, in only one possible scenario, when input A and input B are both 1. If even one of them is a 0, nope, the result is 0. It's a real all-or-nothing deal. Okay, let's grab the next tool from our kit. This is the OR operator. And if AND was that strict bouncer, OR is its super relaxed, inclusive friend. It's much easier to get along with. And this table shows you exactly why. With OR, the result is 1 if input A is on, or if input B is on, or even if they're both on. The only way you ever get a 0 is if both inputs are off. So as long as at least one switch is flipped, the result is on. So here's the bottom line, the key takeaway. You use AND when you absolutely need to know that every single condition is true. And you use OR when you just need to know if at least one condition is true. It's a really basic but powerful difference in logic. All right, and that brings us to our final operator, which is a bit of a weird one, but it's really cool. It's called XOR, and that stands for exclusive OR. And that word, exclusive, that's the whole key to getting it.
Now, take a close look at this table. It's different. Unlike our friendly OR operator, XOR gives you a 1 only if the inputs are different from each other. So one is on and the other is off. If they're the same, so both off or both on, the result is 0. It's not asking, is at least one on? It's asking, are they different? Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually use this stuff in the real world? Well, let's see how these exact ideas show up in a super powerful tool that engineers and scientists use all the time, MATLAB. And you know what? In MATLAB, it's actually super straightforward. The ideas we just talked about map directly to simple commands. Bit AND for AND, bit OR for OR, and bit XOR for XOR. Pretty easy, right? There's also this other handy one called bit CMP. That one does a NOT operation, which is just a fancy way of saying it's an inverter. It just flips every single bit. Every 1 becomes a 0, and every 0 becomes a 1. So you might be asking, why would a programmer even bother with this low-level stuff? And the answer comes down to one word: speed. Just raw speed. Because when you use Bitwise Operations, you're basically speaking the computer's native language. You're skipping all the extra translation steps. This stuff happens right down to the hardware level, which makes it unbelievably fast and efficient. And that efficiency, it unlocks some genuine superpowers for programmers. Seriously, using these simple commands lets them do some really clever, really powerful things that are absolutely essential in modern computing.
Like what? Well, something called masking uses the AND operator to, surgically select just the bits you care about from a bigger number. It's like pulling a specific piece of information out. Then there's toggling with XR, which lets you flip a setting from on to off and back again with just one clean move. And for certain kinds of math, bitwise operations can be ridiculously faster than regular arithmetic. It's all about direct, precise, and super efficient control.
So, there you have it. We went from a simple on-off switch all the way up to a system of logic that literally powers our entire world. And honestly, we've only just scratched the surface of the computer's secret language. Which makes you wonder, right? What other elegant, powerful rules are just hiding right there, just beneath the pixels on your screen?